My 40th birthday I held in an old-age home. My 50th I had at Pravda before it opened in New York. My 60th I had at Pastis. For my 70th, I thought, I don't need to have a celebrity party this year. I'm going to go take my oldest, closest friends to Paris. You never know really what anyone thinks about you. That's why all my closest friends are ones I've had since my schooling days when I was 5, and I surround myself with people who I trust and who know me. Some of the closest friends you make in TV are the producers who travel on field assignments with you. You're together 24/7. America has lost the moral high ground with the rest of the world, and we have fewer allies as a result. President Bush and his administration have undermined the war on terror by using tactics outlawed by international treaty and condemned by even our closest friends. I have a group of friends in my life, and we all give each other something different. I've known my two closest friends for many years. One is a friend from high school, and the other I met right after college. My deep, deep friends remind me every day of the good parts of my personality. Well, I had a small degree, that little infection of skepticism about America which resides in the minds of even America's closest friends. That America can't be quite as good as it says it is. And why does it need so relentlessly to keep saying how good it is? I'm happy. I've had a great career. I adore my family. My closest friends from decades ago remain my closest friends. People don't realize it hurts my feelings when someone looks at my hair or my eyes, and says, "But you're not actually black. You're black, but you're not black, because your eyes are green." I'm like, what? No, I'm definitely black. Even some of my closest friends have said that. It's been a bit touchy for me. For more and more of us, home has really less to do with a piece of soil than, you could say, with a piece of soul. If somebody suddenly asks me, "Where's your home?" I think about my sweetheart or my closest friends or the songs that travel with me wherever I happen to be. Al Gore has been one of my closest friends since the day we met, on the first day of college, 35 years ago. I am privileged to count many Muslims among my friends. Some are amongst my closest friends. My mother, my relatives, and closest friends have risked their lives in the area of law enforcement and corrections, so I never have and never will say, I hate police. A lot of people that I've had around me have been my closest friends since junior high, back when we were exchanging each other's clothes, staying at each other's houses. That was before I had anything. The internet has introduced me to some of my closest friends. One of my closest friends was a half-black, half-Jewish girl. Another good friend had a shaved head, but I was also friends with jocks. I was a floater, I guess you could say. It is also very engaging, and a delight, to go back to Bangladesh as often as I can, which is not only my old home, but also where some of my closest friends and collaborators live and work. I have immense respect for Nitesh Sir and really admire his work. He's one of my closest friends in the industry, with whom I can have a heart-to-heart chat. One of my closest friends is a trans man who is incredible, and a lot of my clients are trans women. My closest friends are the ones who tell me that I'm being dumb or that I'm being wrong. Everybody you work with has their own voice, and if you do your job well enough, even their closest friends or their partner of 40 years isn't going to recognize the fingerprints of a ghostwriter. There were times when close people, some of my closest friends have left me. People hurt me, so everything fell apart. I didn't feel like I had anyone on my side or anyone who could understand me, so that's why I completely fell apart. My closest friends from Israel make fun of me for becoming an American, and my American friends make fun of how Israeli I am. I can't win. All the people I have written about remain with me, perhaps they are my closest friends. I felt lost in endless spools of social media. All the while, emails by the thousands were piling up, phone calls were getting lost in the mix, and messages from the most important people in my life were getting drowned out in the din. I was more responsive to comments on Instagram than to my own closest friends and family. In the world of online invitations, nothing is sacred. People will invite all 500 of their closest friends to their birthday party, and 485 of those people will RSVP, yes, without intending to show up. I love meeting new people. I have been so lucky to meet some of my closest friends on set like James Gunn, Nathan Fillion, and Ali Machaca. Well, my closest friends are still the ones that I went to school with, but it's nice to go to work, at the studios, and have people there that you're willing to talk to and have a good conversation with. R.D. Burman was one of the greatest, and yet in the end, even his closest friends left him and he was all alone. So I do feel every music man should not be just only in music but should have an alternate career. My closest friends are from my high school days. I have an amazing social media manager, Allison Peters, who is one of my closest friends since childhood. Our friends have nothing to do with the business. Some of our closest friends in Florida are not stars. Joe Louis was one of my closest friends. I'm a great boxing fan. I used to go to the American Legion Stadium in Hollywood every Friday night for 15 years. Down the aisle would come Lupe Velez, Johnny Weissmuller, Mae West, all at ringside. To me, the band is like one of my homes. In fact, it's not like, I've got to get out of this band, I've got to go home. This band is home in a lot of ways. It's my closest friends, it's a place where I really feel comfortable and happy. Sheer playfulness and deadly seriousness are my closest friends. I grew up here in New York City and New Jersey, performing on Broadway shows, surrounded by some of my closest friends from the LGBT community. My father, a minister from New Jersey, shaped my view that love is love, that we are all equal. While some of my closest friends were jocks, it seemed that they spoke a different language with each other. Joining in their conversation was fraught with risk. That time, making Disco Pigs, was kind of the most important period of my life. The people I met there remain my closest friends. When I was growing up, albums were my closest friends, as sad as that may sound. Joy Division's Closer, or Echo and the Bunnymen's Heaven Up Here. I had a more intimate relationship with those records than I did with most of the people in my life. My closest friends today are, in fact, my friends from college. It's great because all of my friends from elementary school are still my closest friends. In closing, I wish to say that while I was sorely beset by a number of white riders in my racing days, I have also enjoyed the friendship of countless thousands of white men whom I class as among my closest friends. I think my family and closest friends are learning about my need to withdraw, and I am learning how to restore and store my energy to both serve the community to the best of my ability and to serve my writer's heart. I grew up babysitting and always enjoyed it. I love family. A couple of my closest friends have kids, and I'm their godfather, and that's one of my greatest pleasures in life. Just picking them up from school and hanging out with them. It was a life decision, deciding which path to take in my career. I needed time to get together with my family and closest friends. I cry if something bad happens. I grab a drink with friends when I get stressed out. I travel. I sometimes lash out at my closest friends. Forget worrying about the breakup of celebrities you don't even know. I have long since given up trying to figure out why even my closest friends split up. For some reason, for me, and a lot of people, it's so hard to accept help even when it's from your closest friends. I've been singing with Roomful of Teeth since the beginning in 2009, and it's a really mind-blowingly wonderful vocal ensemble. Very brave and very creative, and they're some of my closest friends. On your first film, you think these are going to be your closest friends for the rest of your life. You form a bond, but then you go back to the rest of your life. And so I've always been fascinated by the technical end of theater, and a lot of my closest friends are not actors, but in the other end of the business. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.